Hello everyone and welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So today I wanted to ask you a question. When you sat down for your Thanksgiving meal, did you consider where your food came from? How far did it travel? Was it regional? Was it organic or locally grown? Was it overpriced? Was it possibly not the freshest that you'd ever had? Well, today I want to talk to you about creating a permaculture food forest, one that will help you to supply food, medicine, and habitat to insects and other pollinators in your community and in your own yard. So I hope you enjoy this video about your permaculture food forest. Now, let's talk about what is a permaculture food forest. Well, it's a powerful approach to agriculture, mimicking the diversity and resilience of natural ecosystems while providing a bountiful source of food, medicine, and habitat. How far did your food travel? Well, for most of us, probably a great distance. And the thing I want you to learn about today is how can you take your backyard and turn that into permanent agriculture through a permaculture food forest, and how you can grow more of your own food without annual plantings. In other words, how can you get into the ground food that's going to come back year after year after year, saving you time, money, and physical work. So for the ones of us that are just beginning our permaculture journey, one thing that you need to understand that there are 7 layers or 7 stories of a permaculture food forest, considered layers of plant life that will work in harmony, contributing to the overall resilience and productivity of the ecosystem. The most important thing for you to remember is to plant natives or well-adapted plants in your food forest that will need little to no help from you year to year. That will make your life a whole lot easier. Also remember, grow what you like. It doesn't matter what anybody else is putting in their food forest, because that's not yours. You need to remember how much space you have available when you're going to map out your permaculture food forest, and then choose plants that are native species or well adapted to your environment that you enjoy to eat. Now, using my environment, which is Southeast Louisiana, I'm going to introduce you to all 7 different levels and layers of the food forest, and I'm going to tell you what I could plant for each one of these 7. Now, I hope this just gives you a point of reference. I'm not encouraging you to mimic or to use exactly what I've chosen, but I hope that this helps your brain understand what each section or layer of the 7 are for, and what you might could plant there that will be best for your environment. Now, for the canopy layer, which is the tall overstory trees that will provide shade and structure, what I could plant is either a southern live oak, a mulberry, or a pecan. Now, moving on, the next would be your subcanopy, and this is your smaller trees that will complement the larger canopy. For me, that would be an American beautyberry or a mayhaw. Moving on to the 3rd level, this would be your shrub story. And shrubs create the 3rd layer of the permaculture food forest, offering structure and food sources. For me, that would be blueberry or elderberry. The herbaceous story, guys, would be the ground level plants like vegetables, herbs, and ground cover. For me, that could be Louisiana irises, sassafras, or even sweet potatoes. Then you're going to move on to the 5th layer. The 5th story is called the rhizosphere, or the ground cover story, guys. This is going to be your black-eyed peas, your arrowhead, your wild ginger, or even your creeping Jenny. Moving on to the 6th story, called the vertical story. You got it. This is going to be vining and climbing plants. And the vertical story make the most of the food forest's vertical spaces, which means they're going to go up. That could be your muscadine grape or your passion flower vine. Now for the last story, but one I think might be the most important, and that is the 7th story, the fungal story. Beneath the soil, the fungal layer, often overlooked, is integral for nutrient cycling. In Louisiana, fungi like Sulius luteus and Aminta jacksonia can form beneficial partnerships with plants, aiding in nutrient uptake and soil health. So now that we've done a little bit of educational work, I'd like you to do a little homework for me. I want you to write those 7 down on a sheet of paper and go through, look at what native plants for your agricultural USDA zone happens to be. Now, if you're not sure what zone you are, you can type into your computer USDA zone and it's going to pop up. It's going to tell you what zone you are. For me, I am literally 9A, 9B. I'm kind of in between both of them. So what I do is I check, and that tells me when I can plant certain plants, because it's going to let me know when my first frost is supposed to come and when my last frost is supposed to come. So that helps me plant food in the appropriate time period every year for every season. You can also check with your local agricultural college and university in your state or your country, and they can literally tell you what plants are considered native, and they may even have some of those plants for sale. So you can go back, make sure you get a correct native plant that is non-GMO. So those are just some tips to help you get on your road to growing your very own permaculture food forest. Guys, it's so important. Those food forests could be around for hundreds of years after we pass on, which means we will literally be providing an inheritance to our children's children. So God bless you. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know for your zone, your region, what native plants would go in each one of the 7 stories.